Good morning and welcome to day 23 on the AT. My name is Mosey and this is Rissa Romes. We are leaving Spence Field Shelter and we have two options today. We can hike 6 miles to Derrick Knob Shelter, in which case we'll probably be done with the day by like noon, or we can hike 12 miles to Silers shelter, which is probably what we're doing. My body's gonna wish we weren't, but you gotta hike shelter to shelter in the Smokies, so I don't really get a choice. So it's gonna be a long day, a tough day, lots of climbs. I'm hoping that they are kind. The climbs yesterday were pretty gentle. I would appreciate it if these were the same, but I'm not counting on it. Here we go. Spence Field was very packed yesterday. I have no idea how many people were there. I think only 3 or 4 through hikers were in the shelter. There are, just a minute, here's a view. Oh, that's beautiful. It's been a minute since we had a view. I should have quite a few of them today. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, there was a family that was just out for a few days. There was a couple, I think, that, were just out for a night or two. And then there were 3 people doing trail maintenance in the shelter. And then pretty much all the through hikers, a ton of them, were tented. I did have my first mouse encounter yesterday. It did not come near me. The trail maintenance people noticed it right before bed last night. It was hanging out next to my shoes. But yeah, didn't come near me, didn't get into any of my stuff, so that's okay. So I'm not much of a college sports fan, but back in the day, I did claim to be a Tennessee Vols fan, which proves that I've always been a glutton for punishment. So here we go. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Just a little peek of a view. Whew. Just did a pretty good climb. Oh, a lot of those today. More coming. So we have had our fair share of ups and downs today. I have to say, today I am definitely preferring the uphills to the downhills, at least so far. We've got a lot more to come, so I may change my mind. But the descents have been pretty rough. Lots of loose rocks, which take some time to navigate. The uphills, I've been doing good. We'll see if it holds out. I'm about a mile from the next shelter. I'll stop there for lunch and then plan on pushing forward to Silers Bulb. one thing I forgot to say this morning. The shelter I was at last night, Spence field, best privy so far. Honestly, couldn't smell a thing. They use mulch there. Some places use leaves. Places in Georgia really didn't use anything, but the mulch, excellent. Best melon privy. I told the crew maintenance guys that were there just that. All right, I'm not gonna lie. That last climb up before Derek's Knob shelter is a beast. I think that was my roughest one so far today. We'll see how the rest play out. So my hiker hunger started setting in a few days ago. I had like 1,000 calories or more for dinner and still was hungry at bedtime. I'm going through my snacks a lot quicker throughout the day, and so I did throw in several extra snacks at Fontana, which I'm very thankful I did, but I'm not going to get to Newfound Gap as quickly as I thought. So we are running very low on snacks. We have plenty of dinners and breakfasts, no sweat on that. But yeah, I have on Saturday I will have 5 miles into Newfound Gap. I'm not sure I'm gonna have any snacks to get me there. Good news is Chicken Little and Fat Bottom Burl said they have plenty of snacks and will be happy to give me some, but I am definitely going to have to reassess my food plan going forward, which is not good. Yeah, wasn't quite ready, but the hunger is here. So many other people, especially women on trail, are having difficulty eating. I have not had any difficulty eating from the very beginning. I always eat all my food. Sometimes I plan for too many days of food, but I always eat the amount of food I have allotted for a day. And I'm going to have to start increasing the amount of food I have planned for each day. So, things to learn. So, left Derek's Knob shelter a little ways back. I'm about 5.5 miles to Silers Bald shelter, which I'm a little nervous because the first 6 miles were pretty reasonable, they weren't all that hard, but they took me a really long time. It took me 4.5 hours to do those 6 miles. And so if I go the same speed on these next 6 miles, I'm not gonna get to the shelter until close to probably 6:30, which is definitely the latest I'll be getting into camp and way past my dinner time. But realistically, I'm probably going to be going slower the second half of the day. So it could be even later. I'm sure the shelter will be full, although a lot of the people I've spoken to are pushing on to the next shelter, which is 2 miles past. I will not be. So who knows, maybe it won't be too crowded tonight, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if I can find a spot for my tent, because I'm guessing the shelter will be full. Flat trail has been few and far between today. Not all the uphills have been hard. Most of the downhills have been hard, but I am enjoying every second of flat trail. More down and up to come. Less than a mile to camp. we're making much better time than we thought we would. Only one climb has been really difficult so far. The last one looks like it might be a bit of a doozy too. I will say my feet are definitely done. And I don't know if you can see a little bit of remnants of a tiny nosebleed. Fun. I do get those sometimes. My mom tried to make me bring saline solution and I refused. I think we're gonna pick some up in Gatlinburg. Yeah. Can finally see the shelter. Making it about 5:25. So pretty good time. Nosebleed did come back. Not feeling my best, but we made it. That's what matters. Well, everyone pushed on 1.7 miles to the next shelter. A lot of them want to get to Clingman's Dome early in the morning, and I think maybe the other shelter has a privy, but I am tapped out, so not a lot of us tonight.